I tell you, it's cold in the lair. HFFL! Week 8, and you got all 3 commissioners on the Week 7 wrap-up show. Hugh Hefner, also known as AIDS. Jakey, how are you?
AIDS? What did you say? Also known as?
Adolf Hitler. No.
Oh, AIDS. Okay, you got it. I don't like AIDS for short.
No.
How you doing? Happy to be back.
Just the robe is just Money Jones.
It's late. It's definitely late. I got out of bed for this one.
We're tucking you in on this Wednesday night. Tucking you into bed, baby. Unbelievable. Little sluggish here. It is 11 p.m., but a great little triumvirate of energy here.
It's like intimacy, you know?
Very, very, very amazing. Great to be with everybody tonight. First order of business, we'll congratulate the weekly points leader again.
I will congratulate the weekly
Thank
points winner again, and next week and the week after that. After that.
It's the 3rd straight week with a 194, and I don't know, man. I'm giddy. Takeaway time, and I think just in connecting the dots here, my takeaway is understand that I have to understand. I was thinking about it the other night. This is the first time ever in my HFFL career that I've ever won 4 games in a row. Ever.
Is that true?
It has to be. Has to be. I am not a good GM. I never am supposed to have a team like this. And the takeaway is when you have a team like this and you're performing or whatever, there's nothing better and there's nothing worse in the whole entire world. Nothing better and nothing worse.
What's worse?
Everybody hates you. Everybody.
No,
they hate you because it's too difficult to feel happy for a guy that's succeeding in fantasy. You know, it's taken away from you. I know.
In a few months, it's gone.
I hear.
You're a monster team. You're well on your way.
It's the bestest though too. It's just the best.
Enjoy it. It's the best time of your life right now.
Yeah. So that's the takeaway really. That it's like with great power comes great responsibility type guys. Like with a great team, you also have to try not to be a niche at the same time. You know, bad optics could only hurt you. And it brings me to my next thought of I'm gonna fall hard. I'm going to fall hard. There's no way I win this. No way, Jakey. No way.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Not only do I think you're going to win, I think you're going to, percentage-wise, clean up the most money in the history of the HFFL. It's not even close. 3 weeks in a row, points leader, and only each week going 170. Wow, that's a lot. 180. Wow, that's a lot. 190. Next week's 200. Your trajectory next week is 205.
The projection this week is just ridiculous. How could I be in the 150s?
Not only you were projected 160. I don't know how you lost a little. But not only are you projected 155, Irving Sassoon seems to be, and it's not his fault, but besides from my own maybe this week, probably one of the ugliest lineups I've ever seen anybody start. We'll get into that later, but I mean, I was looking up and down these names, and wow, I mean, I think this is definitely blowout of the week. I think you might win by over 100. Wow. Look at this roster. Sam Darnold, Geronimo Allison, Ingram Murray. Oh, just really ugly. I know Olga likes it. Olga likes Latavius Murray and some of these guys, but
he's piecing it together. Dalton's gonna have a huge game.
My week this week is the only one that's worse than this, but that's besides the point. Let's move on.
Takeaway, Jay. Takeaway time. Takeaway from week 7 where we're at right now.
My takeaway is there is nothing worse than the Cartastic Four. Just the combination of all 4 of you guys together is just the most irritating, annoying, and it works. I get it. But it is the worst thing in the world. Maybe the guy spelled Shabbat with an C, which is the way it's supposed to be spelled. And the guy gets lambasted with like little girls giggling in the corner. He spelled it with the C. What's so funny?
Chab.
Shabbat is with the C. Every Shabbat other than the little man spells it with the C. That's the way it's spelled. CH is Shabbat. I don't know.
That was a question. I actually laughed a long time about that. And
of course you did. Of course you did. And you know what? This is where I'm going to send it to AB, and we're going to take you all that. We're going for the sweep. We took down Dan. We took down DK. We took down Mike. And this week we're going for Ed, and it's all over. Sweep act.
But your stock is down. We don't want to foreshadow, but your stock is down.
Matter. I won with the 77. They won with the 77. God hates you too. God hates the Cartastic Four except for Dano.
Crazy. Okay, Cartastic Four in Jakey's doghouse. That's his takeaway. Love it. Ogre, takeaway time.
My takeaway is trades in this HFFL league. Let me make a little song. I'm gonna
make a little song.
Totally improvise.
Make a little song, baby. Make a little song.
When you send someone a trade and you really want to do it, you say so, and then you propose it. When you say you'll do a trade,
any more scotch for this?
You really want to do it. Send a trade proposal today.
Send the trade proposals. 2 trades happened in the HFFL this week. Very inconsequential trades, I might add. I think one of them is a big trade. Ingram getting shipped out by Ogre. TY coming to Ogre. How do you feel about getting TY? What was the objective and bona fide WR2, possible high-end, low-end 1?
Yeah, I was trying to fill in all the gaps.
Okay.
And I had an extra running back. And
I don't know, extra running back. That sounds a little gazy, no, Jay? I don't think you can ever have an extra running back.
He has 2 extra running backs because he shipped 2 away this week. Carry-on's been great, but he shipped away 2 this week. Nick Chubb hoping that continues. Yeah, listen, I know exactly what Ogre's doing. He sees a 155 projected on the screen. He says, I need point ability. I need a guy who could go for 25, and that's TY. He could do that. So I get what he's doing there. Dan, everything is about Dano right now in this league. Everybody's trying to figure out how they can compete with your team. So that's what I think is happening here.
Wow, he needs boom or bust stability. And then what do you think about Ed Guy parting with so I'm saying Mark Ingram's going to be a big start for Irv this week, no?
He doesn't have a great matchup. But yeah.
Minnesota, yeah. But still, I think Irv's doing what he needs to do. Irv's going to put up points this week. He's definitely a GM that knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. It's just an ugly roster, but he knows exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He's making lemonade out of lemons. I'll tell you that much.
Great one.
You like the trade for him.
Great one.
For him, he needed a running back. I'm in a position now. I'm looking for a running back. I'm scraping on the waiver wire. There's nobody there. There's really nobody there.
Big time on these 2 rookie running backs having a good end to the season. They're healthy.
I think you
pretty
can't.
Dynamic.
Yeah. You can't move Mark. You can't move Mark Ingram.
I would have kept one. I would have kept one if I was.
You can't move him. Inside the 10 on the Saints, he's going to get his.
TY, you don't think TY is worth it?
TY is just the guy that I never hold in consistent regard. He's not he's boom or bust.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. I'm not a TY guy. I don't know. Jay, are you a TY guy?
I'm a TY guy. TY went healthy, but he's not so healthy. That's part of the problem.
You'll be very surprised at how little game season is in his entire career. It's very, very surprising.
You got to dig that up. You got to dig that up.
I don't agree with that. Over the last 3 years, he's definitely missed games, or he's at least played. He's played hurt, and he's left games. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I am a TY guy. While we're not in any mode yet till we get to the next segment, I just have a quick question, Dan. Are you nervous about the Rams going, 12-0, 13-0? How much does that scare you?
I read an ESPN article about that today and how they're going to bench their players. I'm fucked, Crazy. I am very nervous about that.
Just curious.
He's played 16 games in every season other than
2 seasons, which he played 15.
So the guy's always playing, basically.
That's always playing.
But I don't think
he's just always questionable.
Right.
It's fine with me.
Can I get back to the home screen?
Yeah.
Also, I think it's very important in the show to not only just to also, our chat has been pretty lit of late. I want to talk about, it's a little hot stove, week 8 hot stove. It's sizzling, get hot in here in the lair. What's this whole IR spot, guys, that Ed Guy was talking about? It's over my head. Jakey, please explain what Ed Guy's miffed about.
It's funny. It's something me and Olga discussed earlier in the year. We were talking about it actually in the commissioner chat, but we were saying how it's ridiculous that Le'Veon is able to, to go on, and how most commissioners are not utilizing the IR spot properly. We were surprised. We did discuss this at town hall, and while we discussed IR and different things, we said this year the reason why we brought it in is because it's not strictly IR, because IR meant the guy's out forever. Only 2 players in the NFL are allowed to come back. So we had said that, oh, yeah, you know what? IR means something different this year. And if you read on Yahoo, I'll just read it from you. Eligible designations, IR, injured reserve, out, O, and then physically unable to perform, or PUP, right? So O is out. So the minute a player is ruled out for that week, he's able to go on IR. Now, if people are not realizing that or trying to do that, that's a mistake. DK's been doing that all season. He realized that in week 1. When I traded for Fournette, he was on IR. It's not like I figured out a cheat code. I traded for a guy on IR, put him on IR. Eddie can't figure out how these things work. He's supposed to be some sort of computer genius or something. He's supposed to be the guy who knows this stuff. This is what he's supposed to beat us. But I don't know. He just now he's upset, and he pulls it out this week when he's playing me. Suddenly Fournette on IR. You think I'd rather Fournette? Let's get him out of IR. Let's put him in the starting lineup. I'd love it.
It's a lot of manipulation.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Manipulation.
So how I understand it right now is something that I haven't uncovered either. You're telling me if one of my players are ruled out for the week, I could take that player and put him on. How come they don't know? They don't offer me that luxury. Since when are we?
Since we added an
if there's an O. Olga, you called this out like 6 weeks ago. Remember, you said nobody knows how to use it, and I said, should I call it out to the league?
No, how to use this spot. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
The best part is that we just
that if a guy's just out, I could get an extra bench spot.
Yes.
Ruled out. You got it for that week. But
to be quite honest with you, I like that rule. We got to give our managers the latitude, the ability to hold on to their fucking players.
And you know what's happening.
It's fine.
Just so you know, what's happening weekly is that Fournette's going from out to doubtful. When he goes to doubtful, then you can't make a move. You can't make a pickup unless you move him back into your rotation. So you have to drop. That's why I'm dropping kickers on Tuesdays so I can make a move when it's Tuesday night. So it's not like it's the greatest thing in the world. It does handcuff you if the guy goes back, but whatever. It is what it is.
Thank you for that explanation, Jakey. Tremendous. Now I understand what managers what we could utilize. It was a little over my head when Ed Guy was talking about it in the chat today. So, wow. There's something you don't hear every day. When a guy's out, we can put him in IR. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Let's roll into challenge flags because we don't have Ogre for the next segment for a second. He's having some baby trouble. The week 7 challenge flag winner. They were really, I got to tell you, everybody just laid a dud. LaShawn McCoy, dud. David Johnson, dud. Dalvini Cook, dud. Everybody. Alvin Kamara wins it by default. 17 carries, 64 yards, and a TD. Mavruk, Alvin. You got in. You gave him 14 and a half. Didn't help Isaac and Murray win, but you showed. Week 8 challenge flags. The week to come, huge week in the HFFL. We're past the midway point. This is it, guys. This is it. I say every week, this is it. But challenge to DeAndre Nook Hopkins. Nate Peterman now is in 7th place. Stock way up, 3 in a row, finding ways to win. He has the game of the week matchup this week. a chance to really bury these Saquon, these nutsers, and challenge to Nook. Can't have a 12 and a 14 and a half. Need 20 plus. Need 20 plus. Challenge, Jakey.
So, Ogre had my challenge flag. I agree with Ogre, so I'll let him do that. But I do it again. I think it's the last time he's allowed if he doesn't step up. But I'm going to challenge David Johnson one more time. I think his team stinks. I think he's in a bad spot, but he's got a decent matchup this week. I'm going to challenge David Johnson one more time. Please let me just see something from you. Just show me something, a little. So that's going to be my challenge for the week.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Ogre.
My challenge flag goes out to Christian McCaffrey. C-Mac. You started out the season pretty hot and consistent. Over the last few weeks, you've been jutting it up, and you're an RB1 on a very solid team, and you need to start stepping up. And that's what it goes out to.
Okay. I also think honorable mention challenge flags. We like to have 4 in there. I think Jakey was talking about it also in pre-production of the show. Zeke Elliott also deserves a little bit of a challenge flag.
Bye week. That's the only reason why I didn't throw it out to Zeke. But can't have a 4. Right. That was disgusting.
When it comes back from the bye, let's challenge Zeke Elliott. Let's challenge that dude.
100%. I mean, I don't think anybody let his team down more than Zeke. They lost by 7 last week, and Zeke put up a 4. I mean, that's pretty shitty.
Crazy.
He ruined the Aloe watch too. So fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him when he breathes there. It's ridiculous.
Fuck Zeke.
Nobody more irritating than Zeke. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Something that he's just irritating. He's really bad at this game.
I don't know, dude. He's in 3rd place. Can't be that bad. He
he's
can't be that
getting
bad.
very, very lucky. He's getting very lucky. Look at his points. He's not supposed to be there. He's really not supposed to be there.
Dude, those aren't horrible points. 9-12 aren't horrible points.
No, 9-12. And but he does have the second least points against. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
Right. I mean, when you think about it, though, I think he has a good team. I really think he has a good team.
Yeah, I can't talk about lucky. I mean, nobody got luckier than me this year yet. So lucky is not something I'm going to put onto Zeke. I'm the lucky one right now.
His QBs are great. Matt Ryan and Cam Newton is just a great complement to each other. QB1, QB2.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to start falling off.
Okay. But Matt Ryan, you have to understand. Matt Ryan was, has been ridiculous, but he's having these games where he's a 6 and a 13. Yeah, he's having his 30s and his 40s here and there too, but you never know what you're going to get with Matt Ryan. I don't know. I don't know if I want Matt Ryan as my playoff QB, but I guess he's his number 2. So I guess the truth is, as a number 2, I do want Matt Ryan. So never mind.
Okay, full circle.
Number 2.
Full circle.
He's number 2. Who realized that? He's his number 2.
I love it. Let's do an act. What do you say? Let's do an activity. Let's play a game. I think it's
sure.
I think it's time for the feud.
The feud?
The HFFL feud.
The HFFL what?
No more drugs for this man.
It's crazy, Jakey. It's crazy. It's too funny. It's too funny. The transformation is amazing, and it's just so much energy.
That song that he sang, just really the trade song, was just another level of nonsense.
All right, folks, we got another good one for you today. I'm your man, Steve Harvey, and from the Little Lindsay's, we got BT. And from FWBT, we got J-Dog.
By the way, just so that everybody knows, for this segment, we wanted to get teams involved, but it seems as though everybody's probably sleeping already.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question number 1. Hold on. We are doing question number 1. We got top 6 answers on the board. You guys know how to buzz in?
HFFL.
I forgot that. Thank you, Dan.
All right, question number 1. Give me the top 6 quarterbacks with the most interceptions.
HFFL.
J-Dog.
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning is. Baby's crying. Eli Manning is not on the list.
Stand up for the steal.
We have a crying baby here.
So I think we skipped the segment. Let's move on to stock up, stock down.
Love it. Love where you're at.
Okay.
The obvious stock up. Why don't you
I'm gonna go stock up, stock down, and the obvious stock up. Nobody's been saying this up since like a few weeks ago because you've been that good. But Dano has to be stock up. There has to be a little bit of a Nahas more of a Nahas going towards Dan, and Dano is stock up. The last 3 weeks points are insane. But even going back the last 4, this guy's points are ridiculous. He's running away with points leader. His stock is way, 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 way up. Nobody on his team ever gets injured. Nobody ever sits out. This is just a ridiculous, ridiculous team. 154, 160.5, 186.5, 194, projected 160 this week, which everybody knows means 235. So this guy, Dano, is just stock up, stock up, stock up. I don't even have to go through his team. I think everybody knows it by heart by now. So that's Dano. That's stock up. Stock down. Gotta be DK. Saquon, he's not. Sorry, DK and Jack Cohen. I apologize, Jack Joko. Looking at the team, losing 2 in a row. Jared Goff coming back down to earth the last few weeks. 15-5, 16. Not going to get it done. Really not. He had an abundance of running backs, which Ogre, I don't know why he didn't learn the lesson. He lost Sony Michel. Connor was just on a bye. That's all. And you saw how much that affected his DK's team. X factor to this team has to be Josh Gordon. If this guy comes alive and becomes a real WR2, then I think, great. Mike Evans is a problem because Jameis Winston doesn't like throwing to black people. He only likes, Cameron Brate, and he likes Humphrey, or whatever the hell his name is. This guy does not throw to Mike Evans. Even Deshaun just does not. OJ Howard, these guys are great players, useless with Jameis, who, by the way, is an awful, awful quarterback with terrible accuracy. And then, another guy who I think is Joe Flacco, inconsistent. But I think Josh Gordon is the key to his team. If he comes back and plays well, maybe his stock will start to rise. But he's definitely stock down right now. Saquon, these nuts.
Okay. I'll get started with my stock down, and I think it's a sneaky stock down. Everybody else is going to tell me no. Only the managers will tell you that it's an obvious stock down, but I think it's sneaky. How can a second place team be stock down? You score 77.5 points in week 7. That's how your stock is down. You escaped with a W, but that's 2 showings now where you deserve 2 losses. 1 with an 86. 1 you got a W with a 77.5. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Can you really score 160 plus points consistently to win a championship? Because in weeks 12, 13, and 14, or 14, 15, and 16, 14, 15, and 16, you're going to have to score that to be champion. So stock down to Fuller wets the bed. And stock up, you got to give him props. It's Aloe in my stock up report. He beat that guy.
Whoa. Pulling out a surprise stock up. Wow.
Surprise stock up. Because it's also a
going off script.
It's also a sneaky stock up because he gets rid of the Aloe watch, and Mike sees teams so fucking miserable that he could get himself out of the cellar and not even be talked about anymore. This week, he could get out of the cellar. So good things ahead for Aloe's team. Stock up. I think he has a bright horizon ahead. Not going to make the playoffs. EKT probably finishes either 10, 11, or 12, but he could get as far as 10 stock up. I buy on Aloe to be out of the cellar. I buy on him out of the cellar.
Wow.
And that's stock up, stock down, brought to you by NASDAQ. Winners and losers from the waiver wire. Jakey, why don't you take us home here? I think there were a couple of sneaky good pickups last night, one of which I think you had, my friend.
Really, I thought I was a big loser with my $17 Raheem. I thought that was a ridiculous pickup by me. I don't know what I was thinking.
The Morstan guy?
Yeah,
I love that guy. I love that guy. I think that's
no, just the money.
okay.
I
Fuck the money. Fuck the money.
I know, but there were no bids. This is a classic Dan on no bid. Dan on no bid. And I went
But
17.
you got. There were no bids on Philip Lindsay. You guys are the clowns. You didn't bid on him. Maybe
That's true.
I got my guy.
That's true. That's true.
Stat, whatever the guy's fucking name is.
There was a $6 bid from Isaac, so that made me feel good. I think a loser, Aloe, spending $108 to walk away with Danny Amendola and Brock Osweiler, just to me is just ridiculous. I know Osweiler is a starting quarterback, and I get that he's been looking pretty decent. But the combination of the two, Amendola just didn't make sense to me. $41 for Danny Amendola. I don't get it. I get he scored a touchdown, but come on, let's relax.
I like the Larry Fitzgerald by DK. I toiled with dropping Snead. I should have dropped Snead, dropping Snead, and trying to pick up Fitzgerald for $6. I would have got him, and I didn't pull the trigger. And there's nothing like the ability to have that vet take you down the stretch. And
nah, I don't agree. You don't want to react. It's a reaction pickup. His year has not been good. He scored one touchdown because we just spoke about it, and suddenly he's a pickup. The guy hasn't been good. He's playing with a bad quarterback. I wouldn't start him, would you? You'd start him? You'd start Larry Fitzgerald?
Today, I would not start him in a lineup.
You think that team's going to get better and that he's going to? I don't know about that.
He could get a better rapport with Rosen. I think I just saw him have a very good Thursday night game with Rosen. He had a very good one, so he could build on that. You know,
he had 4 catches for 40 yards, and that's the good game that you're talking about building on. He happened to land in the end zone for this first touchdown of the year in 8 games. I mean, come on. I don't know about that. This is first double digit since week 1.
Okay.
I don't know about Larry. I don't know. I don't like Larry.
I hear you.
But we'll agree to disagree, and it's probably listen. You're the guy this year, so obviously Larry's going to be great the rest of the way.
Who knows? Who knows?
I definitely don't.
But I will tell you, there's a lot to be said about this waiver wire. This Morstan pickup could be somebody that he starts for San Francisco. They have a good offensive line. I think it's a really good spot start that you're going to have him at, because is Breda definitely not playing, or we don't know?
No, so I mean, if you look at my team, so I have Crowell, I have Ivory, and I have Morstead, and basically I'm waiting for guys to be ruled out. Powell is out for the year, so I start Crowell, and I'm waiting to see if Shady or Breda's out, and I can start the other guy. Otherwise, I just don't know what else I'm doing with all these other yo-yos on my bench.
Tyrell Williams, all he does is score. I thought that was a sneaky pickup.
That was a sneaky pickup. No money either. That was just a quick.
And Latavius is also a sneaky pickup by Olger. Jordy.
Davis, I didn't understand as much, but I think Rudolph to Irv, even though he's been shit, really shit. He could be a consistent tight end. Could be. That position just so weak.
Jordy Nelson is a loser pickup by Trader Irv.
Can we talk about the number 1 loser pickup of the week, though?
Talk to me. Brock?
How about Ishab dipping back into the well with Derrick Henry? I don't care if he's free. I don't care what he is. After he shot on him all week, the minute he saw him available, he jumped back on Henry after the...
I missed your we missed your you cut out a little, but that's all.
All right, Derrick Henry, Ed's a loser. That's the bottom line.
There it is. Way to bring it. I love it. I love how concise that was.
Full circle. So it's late then. It's like what, 11:25. So let's. I think we continue, and we'll feud. We'll do maybe just a separate feud video one day.
I love that. Let's delve into the matchups. We have week 8 is here. It's upon us tomorrow night with the start. Let's go to the first Ogres and Salty X Commish. Battle of 6th and 11th place. Ogre right now got himself into the playoffs. Needs to win to stay competitive. I like him. I really do like him this week. I think it's a shootout. Aaron Rodgers in LA. And I love Devontae there as well. And T.Y., I'm loving his game as well in Oakland. And I think Nick Chubb is going to be fine, and Kerry on, they're going to be fine for this week. So, and of course, Stafford and Kittle. I love all these guys, and I don't like Mike C's guys. So, Ogres, I think he wins handily this week. Mike C goes to 1-7 and moves into the fucking cellar. And it's Mike C watch, you fucking piece of shit. Tells me,
Hey,
he's sick of me. I'm sick of
so
you. I'm sick of you. Ugh.
definitely don't love Mike's team this week either. I think McCaffrey's gonna have a tough matchup again against Baltimore. I know we challenged him. Let's see what he could do. He's finally starting Funches. If he did that last week, he would have won. But it's Mike. Cousins has a good matchup against New Orleans. He's probably going to put up close to a 30 this week, but I don't think that's going to be enough either. I think Keenum's going to have a rough time at KC, even in catch-up mode. He's going to throw some picks, in my opinion. I do like Rodgers and Devontae Adams against LA. I think garbage time points are gonna come in here. I think LA is going to just come out to a big lead. And I also like the Stafford Tate this week against Seattle. So he's got connections all over the place, which I'm just realizing now for the first time. And he also has carry on. Wow, he's got a lot of Detroit Lions, which is a pretty powerful offense. But I like Olger's team to win this week.
Yeah, Olger's team, he really it was the first time I actually really watched Olger's team in depthly this past Sunday. And anytime we were at in that Lions-Dolphins game, DK was nervous. It was there was a crazy matchup. That was
Right.
Scoring a lot of points in that offense.
Carry on. Special teams this week looks great. He's got the Bears against the Jets. I mean, that looks like a great special teams matchup there.
Yeah. I agree. So unanimously taking Ogre there to move to 5-3. Next up is Fuller wets the bed and almost 50-50. Intentionally just being really irritating with 3 empty slots. Do we have to go to the bench now?
I tried to explain.
Go ahead, tell me. What are we doing?
I'm waiting to see who plays and who doesn't.
Right. But give me optimal. Give me optimal now. You're gonna put Eli in there, no?
Eli who?
Eli Manning.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put Eli Manning in there.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna put Crowell in there because I'm assuming Crowell's gonna play. Because I'm assuming Crowell's gonna start there. And then I'm not sure either Raheem or Ivory, depending on who's in and who's out. So one of the two. And I'm going to pick up a kicker once I figure that out, who plays that position. So
your experience, the bye week blues and your stock is down. Crazy.
Bye week blues, injury blues, just trade blues, Hyde. Listen, I thought I had Melvin Gordon and Hyde as my running backs going forward until Fournette came back. Listen, last week you guys stock up. Jakey's planning for the future. Great moves all around. Smartest GM in the history of the HFFL. And then all of a sudden, one trade happens, and this guy's an idiot. So, I mean, one trade, one injury happens, and I'm an idiot. So it is what it is. That's, you win some, you lose some in the HFFL. And I'm stocked down. I am.
Crazy. It's crazy. You're really right. It just shows you how much it changes the momentum. The pendulum swings back and forth so quickly in HFFL. All it takes is one play. All it takes is one trade. Nothing in your control. Just gotta adapt. Mm-hmm. That's why HFFL champions they're held in immortality. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Few and far between.
In this matchup, I really think quarterback play is going to reign supreme here because I think. And the receivers also, I think I give a slight edge to Ed Guy here because just Juju Smith-Schuey and Emmanuel's been very, very hot and Diggs in a shootout, I think, even though I really like your core a lot. But I think quarterback play wins the day here, and I really like Ed and Jack Sett's quarterbacks too much, so I take almost 50-50 in this matchup.
Okay.
Cat matchup of the week, Aloe and Edirani. Edirani and Sam and the Aloe organization against the Aloe organization. I tell you, I got to give it to Ed here. I think Al doesn't really score big points. I'm not scared of one guy on his team this week, not one. And I think Ed and Sam, they still have Tom Brady at the end of the day, Jarvis. I think Joe Mixon and AP are fine, and Baker lights it up at Pittsburgh. So I definitely like them this week.
Well, I hate to do it to them because I keep picking them and they keep losing, but I'm also going to go to Ed and Sam. Brady on Monday night against Buffalo. I think he's going to light them up. He loves that stage. He wants to be on the bus. So I think Brady's going to go crazy. I think Michael Thomas is due to have another decent, good game. This Minnesota is the type of game that I think he'll get a lot of catches in. They might not be over the top, but I think he'll be good. Giants can't stop anyone. Got rid of Snacks this week. AP should go for over 100 this week, in my estimation. We're the type of team that will give that up. I think Mixon, Tampa Bay's terrible defense, and you could catch, you could run. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think Ed and Sam will take this one.
Yeah, and even the Azuma start is a nice sneaky start, but Eric Ebron's the tight end to own there. So I think I give that matchup to Allo, but overall, I just think Ed and Sam too much.
Right, against Tampa, Azuma could score too. I don't think it's that much of an edge there with Ebron. But Ebron, yeah, he's been better. Just he slowed down a bit as of late. That's all. I mean, really, last week he just slowed down. Let's put it that way.
Take me into our next matchup, Little Lindsay's and Trader Irv.
I mean, I touched on this earlier today, earlier in the podcast. I mean, it's a not fair situation for Irv. I think against anyone else, he may be able to scrap it together and pull a win out because, like we said, he really did make lemonade out of lemons here. He's got Cook out, Dalvin Cook out. Cooper Kupp's not going to play again. Rivers, who's his MVP and maybe the MVP of the league, he's out. Devontae Freeman hurt, Eckler hurt. I mean, all those guys are starters. So what he did here and he pieced together, I think it's good. But I don't even think you looked at the waiver wire this week. I don't even think you even blinked. Tuesday night was probably the most relaxing night of your week. I think your lineup's been set, and it's been set for probably the next 3 weeks, unless you have some buys. And I don't see how you don't cruise to victory here. Cruise. Are you still going to the farm every week? Because there's really no reason to watch. Then there's no reason to watch. It's just a matter of how much are you going to win points leader by.
I don't know, man.
I agree with you. HVH is happening. I don't know how, but not yet.
And you think you're going to be okay with it, but because you don't really believe that HVH is happening because you really think you have a great team. But when it does happen, I'm going to just tiger the whole fucking league and lose all my friends, and it's going to be the worst thing ever. I'm going to lose all my friends.
But I do see you. Prepping for that week. This is why I asked the question before. You're prepping for week 13, 14, 15 here with Malcolm Brown to step in for Gurley. You're assuming Gurley. This is not an injury. Gurley backup handcuff. This is he's going to be sitting here, and I need a starting running back just in case. You have Lindsey, so you'll be okay. We all know you'll be okay. But I see you, Dano.
But I'll tell you this: if Todd Gurley doesn't play, you're never okay. No, that's you can't fill that void.
Every team has one guy that really, if they don't play, it's like they're questionable that week. You're Gurley, even as good as your team is. Actually, you have two because Thielen. Fuck you. Every other team has one guy. Like me last week, Melvin Gordon went down. I was hoping to crack 100, which I didn't. Irv this week, I think Phillip Rivers is that guy for him. So it all depends.
Okay. We'll see how it shakes out. Moving on to two guys that nobody wants to win. Token Liberal and against Matthews is high octane first and third place matchup. I'm just excited that, God willing, one of these guys are going to lose and slide down. Lose, slide down. Lose, slide down. This is huge. I think Token Liberal takes it to Matthews. I've been going through this matchup a lot in pre-production. I love Doug Martin this week. Fun fact, love, and because I think they're gonna just run the ball a ton, Oakland, to try to get back on track. I think Tyreek, Edelman, Boyd have an explosive, have all explosive games. So I like it. I like Liberal.
You love Martin, huh? I don't like anyone on that Oakland team, and I feel like Jalen Rashad's gonna get some carries, but I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think the Ryan and Tevin Coleman not being around is going to hurt a lot for Matthews this week. They're starting Taylor Gabriel as their QB2 right now, and he's just so inconsistent, and you need points coming out of that QB2. The truth is, Liberals is risking it a little here with Bortles. I don't know. Could he get yanked again against Philly? It's possible. But I would still make that start if I was them. I like the Liberals here too. More because I don't like Zeke's squad this week than that I like the Liberals this week. I
Fair,
think
fair.
that's the way I'm looking at it. I actually think the projections are pretty on the mark this week, where I think it's going to be like a 120 to 110 type of game.
Wow, wow. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do
I
you
don't
like?
think Isaac will mind that. A win with a 120, he'll be very happy.
Sure, dude. A win.
A win with a 77, you're happy, but you're also pretty depressed at the same time.
Agree,
I mean, it's
agree. I really
but
do
the
agree. No,
but the
you know,
confetti's nice. The confetti's nice.
right. The confetti is nice, but you're like, wow, you wonder if you could really turn it up, you know?
Right. Yeah. 77 is not. It's not a 103 or 77. It's a 77.
Right.
Wow. Anyway.
But sometimes the 77s are better than the 103s because the 103s some guys produced, like because it could be like the same guys always producing. Never nobody on any team produced, so it's obviously an anomaly. You know what I'm saying?
You hope, yeah, you hope. I agree.
No.
So now we got what's next?
I
Let's
tell you
see.
what I'm so excited about is our game of the week coming up here, week 8. Take a team that stocks plummeting, fell from I think 5th to 9th in a week. Is that accurate, Jakey? 5th to 9th, possibly, or 6th?
I'm not sure, but definitely over the last 2 weeks, he dropped a lot of spots.
Yeah, and so Saquon these nuts, but second highest points in the league, so second or third highest points in the league. So I think he's desperate for a win. Nate Peterman stock up, not officially, but he was my original stock up. Winners of 3 straight. All he does is win. What do you see here? It's so crucial for Kaskisi to get a W here to reassert himself back into the playoff picture, so to speak.
Right. So with Nay's team right now, I'm nervous about injuries. I mean, he's starting Robbie Anderson and Marlon Mack right now. Both are questionable. Both had, Mack had a great game last week. Unbelievable game last week. I don't think that could be duplicated, but I think he could have another great game. He's definitely the guy to own in Indianapolis. That's for sure. But Robbie Anderson, I'm not sure about. I don't love that start. But you know what? Nay loves Anderson. He did it for him last year, and you never know what he could do. But Mack and Aaron Jones versus Barkley and Connor is clearly a win for David. Team DK Jack Joko. I think Goff, like I said, I think that's going to be a high-scoring affair, and I do think he's going to throw. So maybe he'll check them down to Gurley. Gurley will still get them, but Goff will get some passing touchdowns. So I like Flacco against Carolina. I think Carolina sneaky stinks personally. So I think Goff and Flacco I like better this week, even though the matchups are much better for Nate Peterman. I like Goff and I like Flacco this week. So I'm totally on the Saquon these nuts side this week. I think Josh Gordon does step up into that WR2 spot, and I think Bucker is just going to be another great performance out of this guy's special teams. So yes, I mean Ney has good matchups in some spots, but I think overall I'm more of a Saquon these nuts guy this week.
I have to agree with that as well. I think a huge underlying matchup there also is the London game, the Carson Wentz against Jacksonville, 4-point swings galore. I think Jacksonville's going to really look to show up after 2 duds. So I think they're going to really slow Wentz down. I don't agree. I think Flacco has trouble this week, but I like Kaskisi's run game way too much with Goff, and his receivers are really all. He has a low end 1 in Evans and 2 WR2s. It could be argued low end 2s, or I don't know. They got to prove themselves, but he has potential there, and
Right.
I think I don't like Nate Peterman's run game this week. I really, really don't. I think Marlon Mack has trouble, and Green Bay never runs the ball. So no matter who they have in there, it just doesn't work for me. For that reason, I'm taking Saquon these nuts to get back on track, get the 4-4, and Nate Peterman loses, and that 4-4 that runs you from 7th to 10th because your points are weak. I think it's going to catch up to Nate Peterman sooner or later.
So we're saying, in essence, which is interesting, which just shows you how crazy everything is in the HFFL. My stock down this week, we're both picking to beat one of our stock ups, which was Nate Peterman. That's just shows you how crazy it is week to week in the HFFL.
Crazy. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jay Dweck. Thank you for joining the show here. It's great when we're all together. We can't. It's just sucks that there's no ogre. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
we weren't lit enough. We weren't lit enough tonight.
Tucking you in. Love you all. Week 8 starting tomorrow. Good luck. Enjoy. And how are you? I don't know how you get out of this. Do stop recording.
I'm going to be here for a while.
I don't know.
I'm going to leave you alone. See you later.